Mutch Games.
Hey guys, Mutch Games here. I'm Thomas Mutch and welcome to my channel. As many of you know from my community tab, I went to Florida recently, and while I was there, of course, I stopped by some local game stores and picked up several video games. And today I'm going to talk to you about it because, as you know, I typically buy quite a bit of games. I love doing physical over digital. It's just, something about the collector aspect. I love playing on the actual hardware, but I digress. I went out to Florida because my buddy Tristan was getting married to his wonderful wife Kendra, and I was lucky to be a groomsman. And also, I went out to Florida a few days early to see some of the stuff I designed for the various Disney and Universal theme parks. But without further ado, let's not talk about that. Let's focus on the games. I hope you're looking forward to this. You guys voted for it. It's a little bit of a different video. I've never done one like this before, so bear with me. And if you have any feedback, I'd love to hear it for how to make this video even better for future ones. So on my first day in Florida, I arrived super early, around 7 a.m. and had a ton of time to kill because my hotel check-in wasn't until around 3 to 4 p.m. So what I did was went around Orlando, ate some good food, and saw the sights. In addition to that, I also stopped by 2 retro video game stores on my first day because I didn't want to go to a theme park yet until I could at least check my bags into the hotel. I didn't trust them in my rental car. Yeah, I did not want to get my trip started off by getting my bags stolen, so I held onto them tightly and went to some local stores. And for this video, what I'm going to do is tell you about each game that I got, and I played each one for about roughly 10 minutes, so it's not an in-depth review. It's just a little quick overview, my initial thoughts on the games, and whether or not I'm excited or maybe hesitant to play them on my channel. Without further ado, let's talk about the first store, which was Cybertron Video Games in Winter Park, Florida. I spent a total of $26.47 and bought 3 games there. I didn't buy a lot here because it was my first stop, and I could only carry back with me what I could fit in my luggage, and I only had about half a bag to fill, so I had to be conscious of space, especially since I didn't know if I was going to get any other souvenirs on the trip. But yeah, I bought these 3 games. This one has been highly requested by you guys, the Winnie the Pooh game, so you can probably expect that one in the future. The reason why I bought it was because you guys have requested it. And now let's talk about each game in a brief manner. Winnie the Pooh's Rumbly Tumbly Adventure on GameCube, which, like I said, was the requested game that I bought for you guys, was kind of rough, I would say. It was a bit slow-paced, basically a typical like cash grab kids game is what it felt like, so I'm not the most excited to play it, but since so many of you guys requested it, I'm still going to play it for you guys, but it just didn't do it for me. Also, Fantastic Four on PS2. It had a slow startup, seemed like a typical action-adventure beat-em-up game, but just didn't really do it for me either. The third game, however, Generator Rex, Agent of Providence, I thought it started off with great music, a good backstory intro. The gameplay seemed very appealing to me, especially since you could change out the weapons, so I'm actually looking forward to that one quite a bit. I'm not sure when I'm going to do all these, but I'm probably going to do all 3 of these in the near future. So after I was done with Cybertron video games, I hopped in the rental car and went all the way to Longwood, Florida to Royal Empire Gaming, which was my most expensive GameStop of the trip, at $128.34 for these 6 games. This one was requested. So I hope you guys are looking forward to hearing me do these. I actually already did one of these games, the Snoopy game I've done. And yeah, let's talk about them. Since a lot of you seem to love when I do PS1 and movie games, I thought why not combine the 2 in one when I saw Planet of the Apes on PS1, and I was not a fan of it. It controlled rough even for a PS1 game, and it didn't even take me very long of playing it to just get overly frustrated with the controls and just be like, I'm done with this. Because it took so long to register the simplest of actions, such as picking up an object and using the object. So this is a game I will probably never play for my channel, except maybe a lame play. Next up, Sim Theme Park on PS1. I love Roller Coaster Tycoon as a kid, as well as SimCity as a kid, and I designed stuff for theme parks in real life. So I thought this would be a fun one for the channel. Maybe it could give me some good childhood nostalgia, even though I didn't play this specifically, but I loved coaster simulations, and since Roller Coaster Tycoon Adventures on Switch left a really bad taste in my mouth, I was like, okay, maybe this older game is better, but no. It was worse than Roller Coaster Tycoon adventures on the Switch. Man, I'm probably just going to go back to playing Roller Coaster Tycoon. That game is fantastic. I loved it so much as a kid and I love it today. But Sim Theme Park sadly disappointed me, and because of that, I'm probably not going to play it. One thing I love doing when going to these stores is be on the lookout for hidden gems. A hidden gem is an obscure, lesser known game that very few people have played, but it is fun. So, yeah, I bought a Mort the Chicken. It looked very appealing. I pretty much bought it for the name alone, and I have seen some video of this before, but I've never actually played it and I know very little about it. Not only that, but I've never seen it in a game store before, so I was like, okay, I know the price tag's a little bit high, but I want to try this. And I got it, and I actually had fun. It had good humor, a nice art style, controlled very well, and this could have been the hidden gem I was looking for on this trip. I am definitely going to play this someday for the channel. Snoopy vs. the Red Baron on PS2 is the game I was probably the most excited to play when I bought it. And it was actually the first one of this batch that I actually put in the console and not only played, but I did a full long play of it and already posted on the channel about a week and a half ago. So you guys already knew I bought this. And the reason why I jumped on it so fast is my family's a huge fan of the Peanuts game. And Charles Schultz just made a great creation here, and I love Snoopy. So Snoopy versus the Red Baron was pretty fun, though it did have quite the difficulty spike towards the end. It was still a very fun flight combat game. My only thing I wish you could have done was fly on Snoopy's red doghouse the entire time instead of, a World War I plane. But regardless, I still had fun. I thought it had a good story, and I actually do recommend this game. I might even get the Xbox 360 pseudo sequel just because I like this game so much. Next up, we got a video game in disguise, Transformers PS2. This is a requested video game, and it did take a little bit of getting used to. But once I got used to that and basically turned them off in my settings, I enjoyed the game. It was fun to actually do the switching and transforming. I know it's a sin to say switching instead of transforming there, but I really had fun transforming. The mini-coms for special weapons was a nice touch, and this is basically based on the Transformers version that I grew up with. I didn't grow up with like Bumblebee and all them. I grew up with Optimus Prime, Hotshot, Red Alert, so it was really fun actually being able to experience these guys in the game, and I really look forward to playing this, even if it does control a little bit rougher and it's a little bit harder to get used to. It was still fun for the little bit I played for it, and I'm very much looking forward to reliving my own childhood nostalgia watching the TV show and playing with the toys in order to play this game. The Amazing Spider-Man on Xbox 360. This game I bought because you guys really loved my Miles Morales long play, and not only that, but since the new Spider-Man movie's coming out, I thought what better way to basically get ready for that than play a Spider-Man game. Since I don't have any other Spider-Man games in my backlog, I thought the Andrew Garfield ones would be fun since I never played those. And one day I'll get to the Tobey Maguire comic book Spider-Man games and all those other ones. I actually grew up with the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man games, so that's kind of why I haven't done it for the channel yet. I just haven't gotten there, but I used to play that all the time as a kid. So was very curious what the Amazing Spider-Man on Xbox 360 was like. It felt like a decent action adventure game. However, my big concern with it was it felt really handholdy, especially with the fighting segments. Granted, I think I was still in the tutorial area by the time the 10 minutes was over, so I'm really hoping it grows out of that, but I think I can overlook that for the overall game, and I'm looking forward to doing this before the Spider-Man movie comes out. Before I talk about the final game story, I just want to take a moment to thank all of you who have been watching, all of you who have been subscribed, and I figured one of you would be the first one to watch the video, so whoever watches it to this point, here's a gift card on the screen, and be sure to enter it right away because this is a free grab for whoever gets it first. So if you do get it first, put something funny like, let's say, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Do not comment that yet. First, go enter this passcode, buy your item, and then type in winner, winner, chicken dinner if you're the one who gets it. I just think it'd be pretty funny to just see a bunch of people comment that. There's only one available, so once again, thank you for being subscribed and thank you for liking the video. And I hope you enjoy this thing. I'll probably do it when I do my Let's Play as well. I'll probably hide some throughout the videos. But without further ado, let me talk about the rest of my trip. So after these 3 days I spent at Disney World, the 4 parks, as well as Universal, the 2 parks, I had the wedding. So that's the whole reason I did this trip. So that Wednesday I left Orlando to drive all the way to Tampa. And because I got there an hour early due to my check-in of the or check out of the hotel, my next check-in wasn't ready. I actually went by a game store there. It was RU Game in Tampa, and bought several games, mostly Wii and a PS2 and an NES game. You guys already saw me do this NES game. I had you vote whether or not you wanted to see me do an NES and Xbox 360, or I think it was PS2 for the other one. No, it was Wii. Wii, Xbox 360, or NES, and you guys voted on NES. So I did the Muppet Adventure Chaos at the Carnival. That game was not good. But I did it for you guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. At this store, I spent a total of $43.49, which is a pretty good deal considering how many games I spent, or how many games I bought. So like I said, I already played this game, Jim Henson's Muppet Adventure, Chaos at the Carnival, on the NES. And my advice to you is, if you ever pick up this game, read the manual first, even if you have to find one online, because it took me 3 times to beat, or 3 times to play it before I discovered, oh wait, select actually backs you out of the level. The reason why that's important is the final level of the game, there is a broken section that's nearly impossible to win. So you just back out of the level and you just restart the entire level to get to that point, and just do basically a jump attack, kamikazing both of you, and then yeah, it'll stay dead and you can make it on from there. Next up is Night at the Museum, Battle of the Smithsonian. Like I said, you guys seem to really love the movie game, so I bought this one. The frame rate seemed a bit off when I was walking at first, and the graphics for Ben Stiller might be a little bit nightmarish, a little bit rough. But hey, it did give you the experience as Larry the Night Guard, so I do give it credit for that, though I do think it's going to be more of a tedious game. I'm still on the fence of whether or not I'm going to play this one. The Secret Saturdays, Beasts of the Fifth Sun. This one I just thought, meh, I wasn't really interested in the show back when it was on Cartoon Network. But playing this game, it's like, okay, this is a pretty solid platformer. I liked its way it used the Wiimote and the nunchuck, and the pointing mechanic to take control of another being. That was pretty neat as well. So I'm actually looking forward to this one. Just like Generator Rex, The Secret Saturdays, Beasts of the Fifth Sun surprised me, and I'm looking forward to it. Billy the Wizard, Rocket Broomstick Racing. Whenever I see that Data designed a game for the Wii, I know it's probably going to be garbage. This one I was actually familiar with because of the channel Scott the Woz when he did his shovelware video. So yeah, I was very familiar with this. As you've seen, I've done a lot of those games from that shovelware video, especially like Fling Smash. But this was one of the worst Wii games I've ever played. Whoever thought that using the nunchuck gyroscope to steer and the C-stick to control while using the Wiimote to flick was a terrible idea. This game features 6 modes, 30 mini games, but it's practically unplayable. I beat one of the game modes, but I could not do the racing. It was atrocious. I think this is one of those games that should just be burned. A way to instantly improve this would have been just make the controls with the C-stick have a fixed camera that follows you behind, and then use your wand as your Wiimote motion controls as your wand, and it would have been instantly fixed. One of the worst Wii games I've ever had the displeasure of playing. Now here's one I haven't posted yet, but I will be posting it this next week. Remember how I said I put up a little survey to see, hey, do you want me to do an NES, Xbox 360, or Wii game? This is the Wii game I had ready to go. It's Alvin and the Chipmunks, The Squeakquel. You guys seemed to respond well when I did the PS2 game, and that one was requested. This one wasn't requested, but you know, I enjoyed the PS2 Alvin and the Chipmunks game, so it's like, let's see how the Wii one is. The Wii one was vastly improved, though I did have to overswing on a lot of the motions, so it kind of like hurt my shoulders. I got a lot of fatigue there, but overall, it wasn't a bad game. It had some good music, and it was a strong improvement over the first game. And I'm actually looking forward to doing the third game, though I do think the third game might be a dancing game, so not as much as the motion game for the rhythm. But Alvin and the Chipmunks, that did motion controls correctly. Space Race on PS2 was one of those games that I'd never actually seen before, but it's Looney Tunes, it's a PS2 game. What can go wrong? Overall, I thought it was kind of hard for my eyes to keep track of the course with the background, so I ended up racing off the minimap instead of the actual track. And when you do that in a racing game, it sort of just, defeats the purpose of the racing game itself. You should enjoy it more by racing on the track than racing on the minimap. However, I did feel like it had a lot of good things going for it, such as the announcer being Foghorn Leghorn, which made me laugh right off the back, to the Looney Tunes carts, the characters, the items, and because of that, I think it captured the heart of Looney Tunes, and really that's what a game needs to do, is capture the heart of the source material. Last but not least, another game which I thought that could be a potential hidden gem. It's Ninja Reflex on the Wii. I bought this game because it was cheap. I never heard of it. I had a manual in it, which I find is so important for physical games because then you can actually see it without having to look it up online. You can make a decision right there. But everything about this game just intrigued my entrance. And I enjoyed this so much that unlike all these other ones where I was doing about 10 minutes, unless I did the full long play of it, I actually ended up turning this into a 20-minute recording for this short little burst of footage just because I was enjoying it so much. And it was quite challenging, but this is a hidden gem I will most definitely do. So that was my wedding trip. The wedding was that Friday. I left Saturday and came home and then played some video games. It was pretty fun, pretty relaxing, and it was really awesome seeing a lot of the stuff I designed in person because basically last time I saw a lot of the stuff was when it was in the shop, but now that it's out in the field, it's just a whole nother experience being able to not only see the stuff in the field, but also to look at people around me and see how they react to it because it just puts a smile on my face when I see the joy the creations I do bring to others. So I hope you enjoy this video and let me know what you think about it. I hope you have a wonderful day and congratulations to whoever entered that gift card first. And yeah, I hope to do more of those in the future. So make sure to still comment on that poll which place you buy games from the most because that helps me determine what cards to do in the future as well. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.